Welcome to the Brant and Sherry Oddcast, sponsored by America's Christian Credit Union. To order Brant's latest book, Life is Hard, God is Good, Let's Dance, or to find out more about the show, go to BrantHansen.com.
Some good broadcasting is on the way.
Yeah. Smells like coffee, but it's actually good broadcasting in a cup.
Personality being uploaded.
You can see the little bar, the progress bar.
Mm-hmm. And have things to say, powerful things.
Sure, absolutely.
Thoughtful things.
Absolutely. I had an unoffendable conversation.
Oh, really?
I did. Because the book selling over 100,000 copies. Let's just give it up the...
Glory to God.
Yeah. Take a knee in the end zone and point out. And so one of my friends is a little more volatile, like me, but she's worse. She was talking about the concept of it, and I was telling her how difficult the concept was for me to even approach. In fact, ironically, I was enraged by the...
Right, of course. I understand.
By the mere suggestion of it made me very angry. And we were just talking about the process of it, my process of accepting it. And that it really does come to Calvary and it can't come to anything else. How I've been forgiven.
Right.
Nothing else.
Right.
How I've been forgiven. And in that way, it's a really great exercise because I get to continue to absorb that. You know what I mean? How I've been forgiven. How I've been forgiven. How I've been forgiven. But I told her, I think the issue that she was having, that I think that some people have whenever they lovingly try to contradict the premise of it, is that that's a decision that is made. Now the work has to continue to be done.
Right.
And that's the part that I had to realize, is that I have to make that decision. I'm going to forgive the way I've been forgiven. And then how does that continue to work out in my life? Because if I don't do the work, if I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm over it, and I'm not, then we talked about seepage, like it'll seep out in other areas.
Yeah, because you haven't done the work.
Right. And so the work...
You haven't actually done the thing. It's always about doing the thing.
Right.
And that's so true with discipleship.
Yeah.
Like Jesus keeps saying, put my words into practice.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a matter of just... But we're so not discipled.
Yep. We don't even understand what it...
No, we don't understand what it... we just think, okay, I absorbed this information. No. We actually have to do the thing. Well, okay, I can't forgive this person, but if God wants to give me the strength to do it, I guess he'll have to do it. No, you do it.
Yes, that is right.
Because actually, he said, I'll give a strengthener when you obey.
That's right.
You do the thing, whether, you do it first. That's obedience.
Yes.
But I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's been sitting in my craw too lately. It's just kind of like this idea that we just absorb information. Like, no, do it.
Yeah.
And actually what happens is, here's the thing with anything, anytime we're obeying Jesus, what I've learned from people that are wiser than me, or in life too, is things start to get more second nature.
Yes.
It's just like practicing free throws. You do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over, so that it becomes second nature while you're in the game. So you don't have to think about it. It's just something you do. So it's so absorbed, you practice it.
That is right.
So that it's so absorbed that you start to react like Jesus would in the moment even.
That is right.
Because the obedience is, he's used that to change your heart. But it's got to be obedience.
Yes. I heard someone say the other day that obedience is the greatest form of worship.
Right. Totally, yes.
And so, yes, it's the actual work, and that looks different for everyone. But that work, yeah, the idea is great. But if you're just looking at the idea and saying, how in the world could we, or I can't, no, the actual work has to be done.
The actual work has to be done.
And it's brutal, and so was Calvary. That's why it comes back to,
it is.
It's bloody, and so was Calvary. And that's why it has to come back to that, because without it, there's no basis for it. It's ridiculous, actually.
And if you think you're a good person, you can't do it.
Yeah. Because Calvary it was nice. It was a nice gesture.
It's for other people.
That's how people treat it. It was a nice gesture. Nice gesture. Thanks.
Yeah. For those other people, everybody, but what I did didn't deserve that.
Right.
I'm not that bad. I'm pretty good. So forgiveness is going to be in short supply. And the other thing that strikes me is either this is true or we are so messed in the deepest sense.
That's right.
Like there's no hope. Because there's no getting off this retribution train. There's no end to the darkness in my heart. There's not but I'm glad you said that, because it really is either do it or don't. And we can come up with a million excuses not to. Okay,
right.
fine.
Okay, yeah.
Don't do it. But that is discipleship.
It is discipleship.
Yeah.
And as I told her, there is not to get super spooky, but there is a spiritual component, meaning he has given us his spirit, meaning there is help for me when I turn in the right direction.
That is, but that's evidence. I'm just learning, what Jesus keeps saying.
Right.
If you want to build your house on the rock,
right,
put the things I said into practice.
That is
You actually have to do.
Yes, and then the Holy Spirit is called he comes alongside us, and he's the person who helps us. But
Right.
I have to make that decision. This is the right thing, and commit myself, like discipleship, or like you said, show up to the gym. I'm not going to get better at the free throws on the couch.
You may be terrible at it at first.
Yeah.
Just terrible, which is
Right.
true. I mean, it's just real struggle to forgive people. Like, I can't. I get so upset in traffic. Okay, but we're trying now.
Yeah.
And that's weird, too. Like any child, what do? They try to do stuff they can't do.
Yeah.
Like a baby doesn't just all of a sudden, like, at 1 year old, go, whoop, start walking.
Let's get around here.
Yeah, no, okay, I'm ambulatory. This is working out. It's like you start doing something you can't do. Dribbling a basketball, you don't just automatically start, hey, all right, I got this. Like, it's I don't even bounce in the thing. And you've got to start there. Like, little babies will start pushing off the floor.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Well,
Right.
they're trying, and then they're going to keep doing it, and then it'll start to be second nature.
Yes.
And they'll get strong enough they can start making these changes, and then next thing you know, they're running and jumping.
Yeah.
So there is an element to this of just, enough studying, just flipping, do the thing. I don't know how else to put it. Just do the thing.
Yeah.
And the excuses that we offer instead of obeying.
Yeah, it's the work. It's the put. And look, that can look like counseling for you. That can look like a million different things. But
Totally.
the work is the work to do what he did for us.
Yes. Okay. So that is the work to me. It can be counseling or whatever. Like, you're right. But I have to almost enter into a grieving state, not for what this other person did, but for what I am guilty of. Because if I'm like, well, they really, what they did is beyond forgiveness. Like, I need to think about what I've done and how God forgave me. And it's almost a grieving thing. If I have to re-grieve my own sinfulness, my own lack of love, like the golden rule, do to others as you would like. Well, we all agree with that, right? How many times have I failed to love people the way they ought to be loved?
That's right.
A billion. So just entering into the things I haven't done, or if that's the work.
Yes.
Is humbling yourself,
Yeah.
which Jesus keeps telling us to do. Like you guys don't get it. You're gonna have to humble yourselves. And
Well, my uncle always says, you can humble yourself or you can be humiliated.
ultimately, right.
You can do one of those things. And I think that if you're in a relationship with God and he's committed to you and committed to the process of changing you, he'll bring you to that point. Like, if you don't want to bring yourself to that point where you can see how much forgiveness you need, he will gladly bring up a few opportunities at work or in family or whatever where you're the one that's exposed.
And exposed is right. Like, even the language, this always freaked me out when I was a kid, being around church stuff. But it was like, in the end, every knee is going to bow and say who the real king is. Like, we stand, no resumes, but I did this, I'm impressive, I advocated for this right cause, no, naked.
Yep.
And on your knees going, no. So, might as well start now.
Yeah.
Get a head start on that, and then that won't be so humiliating. That'll be
Right.
like, thank you.
Yeah.
The kingdom is here. Hey, just a quick reminder, if you're interested in helping us, this would actually help us. Sherry and I both bank with America's Christian Credit Union, and it's a really sweet thing. What they do is fund a lot of adoptions and ministries and missions. Very happy with it. And if you want to support the show, they're a sponsor. So if they see traffic coming from our show, they'll be like, hey, let's keep sponsoring that.
And that's always nice.
And if not, they should be like, forget it.
Right.
So if you go to branthansen.com, you can find out more. Scroll down there. Again, we can tell you we really love it. America's Christian Credit Union, and you'll find it if you scroll down at branthansen.com. We have questions from listeners, and so here's our new questions from listeners theme music, which I also use for everything else. But I like
But it's okay to take that and repurpose it.
Yep.
We can call. All right, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you could have had another career, what would it have been?
At this point, honestly, I would like to be a professor. I should have been. Like,
Really?
No, this is fine too. No, it sounds like I'm not happy.
No, I mean, she's asking.
I want to teach, and I like
I thought
having
you would have
people
said
around.
lawyer.
Well, I want to teach law.
Okay.
And that's why I'd considered going to law school.
Is it?
was-
I didn't. I thought
really-
you wanted to actually
No, ultimately, I
litigate.
was not interested in being a lawyer. I think most lawyer jobs are really, really boring.
Okay.
Some are really interesting, like being a defender or something like that, or a prosecutor. Like, but no, I'd like to see people. So I like not being seen. So I need a job where there's a curtain and I could see out.
Okay. The
But-
Wizard of Oz.
Like the local Christian school has had me come speak a couple times. It's a really big school. And I really enjoy that. So I want to see people, see if the light's going on.
Yeah.
See if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
And I got things to say. That's something I prayed for. Is like, God, give me things to say. And it just keeps going. So what about you?
Probably the same.
Yeah.
I like teaching. I love teaching, actually. But I think I have things to say, but I could take material. I liked doing that too. And I did that for a while as trying to make it in radio. I did that, so training. And I just love that. I do. I really, really enjoy that. And so probably I would see myself as a corporate trainer. I'm okay traveling around and teaching things. And that would have.
Yeah. I think that's why that desire was why I wanted to try youth ministry when I did it. Like, it's because it was a good teacher. Even if I wasn't good interpersonally, like I was good like middle school or high school or whatever.
See, I backed into it. I didn't even mean to be a youth pastor. I was. I just remember we lived in the inner city, and I just remember seeing a bunch of kids everywhere, and thinking like all the time, especially during summer, and then
You worked for the church though, right? At some point.
I did, but
Yeah.
my first thing was there's just a bunch of kids here, and I would write plays for them and gather them all up and do stuff. And then the kids stuck around, and it was like, well, who's gonna take care of them? And it was like, well, how about Sherry? So I don't know that I was. Well, you probably feel the same way. I don't know that I was ever qualified for that.
Well, that's
and,
why I quit. It's like there's clearly. And it was really sweet because I do remember some of the kids crying, and that was like, really?
Aw.
But it was, it's like, but they actually said, but who's going to teach us? And they meant it like that, not who's going to schedule the next Six Flags trip, because they knew I couldn't do that very well.
Right.
But I like taking, like you, I like to take the thing, like something that maybe is complex. How do I get this to you in a way the light clicks on?
And you
in a
see the
beautiful
light
way.
click on, and it's like, man, that's great.
Right. And it's something that you can take with you forever. Like it's simple. Make it simple. That to me is so fun because there's a lot of good thoughts out there, but for whatever reason, they don't know how to make it simple.
Were you ever with other youth pastors and think, hey, look, they really know what they're doing?
Yes.
You said, okay.
I remember going. Did I tell you when I did at one convention? I
No,
think
I didn't know you went to any
I went
conventions.
to a youth convention, youth leaders convention.
Right.
And I really wanted to learn how to do my job better.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel like I knew what I was doing. So I wrote down 3 questions. And I wrote it down on 15 different pieces of paper. And I took 15 envelopes and self-addressed stamped those envelopes. And as I met guys who were like teaching the workshops, and they were like clearly, oh, he's the cool one, and he knows what he's doing. I asked him, like, thank you so much. Would you be willing to answer these 3 questions for me and just mail it to me? Just drop it in the mail, like even today, or
Yeah.
oh yeah, man, that'd be awesome. So I handed out 15 of those. I got 1 back. And it was from the most successful one of them all at this big
well,
mega church. Yeah,
okay,
he was
that's not bad.
huge mega church guy. He had the time,
Okay.
but 14 other guys. It was like one of those weird parables.
Behold, he passed out 15.
I wanted you to help me, and one of you did. 14 of you said you would, and didn't. But I also was struck by the competitive vibe, and the chafing and struggle for significance.
Yeah.
And again, I keep getting hit with that in Christian radio too.
There was some of that. I think because when I would go to these things, they have this network of youth pastors that would meet in the city of Pittsburgh. And it was, I was clearly, the word was at risk. I was with at-risk youth. And so I think what kept a lot of the tension away is that I wasn't in the suburban thing. And so that what I was doing was sort of different, and so there wasn't, but I could see that because here's the thing: if you're at you won't know these things unless you're in Pittsburgh, but if you're at Sewickley Church of whatever, and then you're at Ambridge Church of whatever, that's not that far, and so it starts to be at the youth level because, quite frankly, it's at the pastor level too sometimes where we're competing for humans.
Yeah, market share.
Yeah, and. But I remember being with youth pastors and thinking, man, they really have it together. They had plans and blueprints and everything. And
Oh man,
yeah.
I felt totally outclassed.
Right.
There was a church. This is when I was a full-time guy for a few years. But there was a church nearby, same neighborhood, that they brought in this guy from California. Now this is in Illinois.
To be a youth pastor?
No, to be the head pastor.
Okay,
and he brought in his California buddies to be worship and youth pastor. And they had it going on.
Oh, man.
Like California, and they knew all of the Christian artists too.
Okay.
So this church started having, it's a high school youth group with Phil Kagi or whatever. Even then, that was kind of a throwback.
Right.
I remember him specifically, but all these other artists that would come through.
Yep.
And I'm like, I can't compete.
Well, I think I could. That was at least one of my claim to fame is I could write and I could throw a program. So I had that kind of thing going on. What I felt like I didn't have going on is they just had curriculums and they understood I couldn't do.
All we had was an unbelievably funny monthly newsletter.
I bet you it was.
I spent way too much time on, but it was like everybody wanted a copy of it.
I promise you,
it was
one
ridiculous.
of your kids still has it. I promise you that. One of them, if you bring right now, if some of your kids are listening, they're like, I probably still have that.
It'd be like 4 to 6 pages, and it would be like a big. And I would have like a games page, and there was one I remember doing a maze, and it had like stick drawings, and on one end it was a fire truck.
All right.
No. One end was you, like a stick man, and then at the end of the maze was a cat. But behind it was this truck bearing in on a cat. I was like, give yourself 30 seconds to complete this maze to save your cat's life.
All right.
And you go through. I hand drew this maze so that there's no actual answer to it, so that would just cause you to panic. But it was just complete nonsense. Yeah. And I remember even my boss, the head pastor, was like, I don't know if you have time for this, but this is hilarious. Real youth ministry.
Save your cat.
That's all I got.
The Brant and Sherry Oddcast, sponsored by America's Christian Credit Union. To find out more about the show, go to BrantHansen.com.